Good morning. Wow. I'm really happy to see you today. I'm really happy to see you because you inspire me because I know that you're interested in the invitation to genius. I know that you are committed to seeing the world change and you'd like to, consider possibly that the number one way you can make a change in the world is to change your relationship with yourself and your own emotions. To change your relationship with yourself and what you feel is possible. I'm suggesting feeling that there's more possible than you currently understand. There's more that you can do that will make a difference. And so, because you're that kind of person, I'm really excited to introduce you to another friend of mine who's just like you and just like me. Like attracts like. When you see genius and recognize it, that means that there has some ability to discern genius. And so there's something of genius in you. And so a friend of mine that I want to introduce you to, his name is David. And he's an amazing man. Wait a second, you may have heard of him. David Bowie. Yes, he is one of my best friends. He's been one of my best friends since 1983. David Bowie was the second concert I ever saw. First concert I ever saw was King Crimson in Discipline. And the very next concert I saw within days was David Bowie. It feels like it was the very next day, but it was within days. And I saw David Bowie in his great big comeback, the Serious Moonlight Tour. And so at that time, I really got into him. I really got into David Bowie, and I really got into listening to like the early David Bowie. And I just remember being at the show, the excitement before the show, and even hearing people talking about him who were way into him then. I was probably like at the time I was probably like 16 years old. So, it had a big influence on me even at the time. I in college, not in college, but when I lived in Boulder, Colorado, right after college, I remember having a big poster of David Bowie on my wall. It was this beautiful poster of David Bowie playing the cello. Isn't that, if you know anything about David Bowie, doesn't he seem like the kind of guy who would play the cello? It was actually in a movie, The Hunger, that he played the cello, and he learned to play the cello for the movie. And he actually got supposedly to be pretty good at cello. But David Bowie, there's so much about him. His entire life was a piece of artwork. The art that he put out, from each era of his life, going from one, very distinct, sort of staging to another. Sometimes very popular music, but sometimes music that wasn't popular at all. There's a documentary that is about him on YouTube. You should check it out. It's called Metamorphosis, an eclectic documentary. That's the name of it. Metamorphosis, an eclectic documentary. It's about David Bowie. I would check it out if I were you, because it's so inspirational, and it's about his relationship to change. It's about his relationship to art itself, and how his relationship to art changed at different parts of his life. Because we need to change. Your life is a piece of artwork, and what you did at different points of your life made sense for you at the time, even if they were mistakes. There's a point, though, that we have to step into the edge. The edge is your current edge of limitation. Okay? It's your current edge of limitation. It's that point when you're, I've often said that many times I'm in a pool and it feels like my mouth is just above the edge of the water. That's the edge. David Bowie describes it is that that you're at that creative moment when, in the same sort of analogy, when you're walking in a pool and your feet just barely touch the ground, that's when you're at the edge. That's when you're at that point when genius will take over. So consider hanging out with David. He's such a cool guy. And consider, really thinking about who are the friends that really make a difference to you. Who do you hang out with? Do you hang out with people like, say, politicians all the time who are saying things that are making you angry? Do you hang out in, rat-infested hovels, where people are, doing all kinds of nefarious sort of stuff? Or do you hang out in beautiful places with beautiful people? So, I don't know. Just a suggestion. So anyway, this is a wonderful day to hang out with wonderful people. And I'm so glad I got to hang out with you. So I'm gonna ring the bell. Here we go. So the invitation to genius is an invitation to enthusiasm. It's an invitation to getting excited about discovering who you really are and shining that into the world. Not for everyone else, but because you need to do it. I'm going to bring my hands in the prayer position. I'm going to bow to you. And I say namaste. And I'm just so excited about what you're going to create. Have a wonderful day.